adversity in your life, how did you develop the resilience to, overcome it? And what would you give to others? Advice would you give to others in similar situations?
Yeah, so I remember when I was getting divorced, because we'd only been married for a year, it was only a year after I stood up in front of all of my family and friends and told them that I was going to spend my life with this person. A year later, I had to go back and be like, actually, I think I made a mistake and I'm not going to be staying married to him. And that was really embarrassing, I think it's the first emotion that comes to mind. And it took me a long time to tell people that I didn't know that I was kind of divorced. When people would say, like, oh, have you got a boyfriend or whatever? I'd have to tell them that I was getting divorced. I remember just being really embarrassed and not wanting to tell people. And then one day I got really sick of being embarrassed about it. I didn't want to feel embarrassed about it. I'd done nothing wrong. I thought I'd been making the right decision, and it just turned out that it was not the right decision. And so I spent a lot of time kind of reminding myself that I had nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just something that had happened. And by doing that, my brain kind of started to listen to the fact that it wasn't embarrassing and it was just something that had happened. And that was how I kind of got over that feeling and started to work on kind of feeling more resilient about it. And now I have that same sort of attitude to everything, in that if I'm feeling a certain way about something, I look at the facts versus instead of like my feelings on the matter, because our feelings quite often lie to us. They make us think things that aren't necessarily true. So I try and always go back to like evidence-based fact. So if I feel like let's say I've got like imposter syndrome about something and I feel like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, this isn't for me, I'll kind of go back to like, okay, what have I done before that proves that I shouldn't be doing this, or that disproves it and that I should be doing it, and just look at things that you've done previously. So if let's say you're going for a promotion, for example, and you're like, oh, actually, that promotion is probably not for me, I probably shouldn't be doing that. Look at the work that you've been doing and how much of a boss you've been in your previous role, which I imagine most people have been. We're a lot harder on ourselves than we need to be. And just look at whether what you're feeling is actually true or whether it is just a feeling. And if it's just a feeling, then we can absolutely work through that, and you can look at that, you can kind of flip your limiting belief on its head and kind of tell yourself the opposite of it until you start believing it. And that's a huge thing that's gotten me through some of my mindset issues over the years, and is one of the reasons I've been so successful.
Yeah, I feel like overcoming embarrassment is something that is huge and really developing that mindset. How would you say you get over the feeling like others are judging you, especially at the beginning when you're just starting out and have all these plans? What's one thing that you would tell people?
That people aren't paying as much attention to you as you think they are. We think that everybody's watching us and watching what we're doing, but 9 times out of 10, the people that we think are watching us are actually worrying about themselves and what they're doing, and they're embarrassed about us seeing them. Obviously, you do get the odd person. You might get the odd troll that says something nasty, but 9 times out of 10, people aren't paying as much attention as you think. And for you to